Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, yet for another video. How is everybody doing today on this Friday afternoon slash evening, whatever you want to call it, whatever the time is where you are. It's been a rainy day all day today, but it's all good because I'm not going to let my spirits down because it is the weekend, y'all. And it's time to party or whatever that you want to do. I got my godson this weekend, so I'm going to hang out with him. His birthday's on Sunday, so we're going to hang out. We're going to do father-son things, and it's going to be off the hook. So, yes. So, I just want to talk a little bit about, not saying that this position is forgotten about, but a lot of people are, this is one of the positions that a lot of people are worried about right now. Within reason, I understand. The tight end position with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we have not had to really worry about this position for the last 15 years. Why? Because we had a Hall of Famer there. Well, we had a future first ballot Hall of Famer there as a Jason Witten, which I like to call AKA the process stopper, the stopper of these players of being better right away. Because the Cowboys don't know how to do anything. Didn't know how to do anything behind Jason Witten, and that was the issue. It was basically him being on the field, and Jason Witten, I'm going to tell you, he didn't want to get off that field. So, you wasn't getting nobody was taking his position. You look at when we had Anthony Fasano. You look at when we had Michael Bennett. Martellus Bennett, I'm sorry. When Martellus was here, Martellus got a lot of flack because of not only the simple fact that, he wasn't what they thought he was, which he ended up being. But again, he couldn't be what he was on this team because, one, the team didn't know how to use him, and they didn't know how to use the two tight end set when it came to him and Jason Witten. Now, you had Jason Witten there, and he wasn't unseating his spot. He wasn't unassing. That's just what it was. Now, I feel like if we would have not giving up on him and utilized him more, he probably would have been even better for us. Because, like I said, we've seen what he's done when he left and went to the Giants. When he went to the Patriots, when he went to Green Bay, we've seen what he can do. But, it is what it is. You can't go back to. Also too, Danny Amendola too. But the thing about it is this: whether it was a receiver or a tight end, it just seems like we had a lot of talent on this team that we could not play them to their specific. It's just frustrating because when I think about it, I just go back and look at a lot of players that we ended up cutting and the players that we couldn't have on the squad because, i.e., you had a player in front of them like Jason Witten, or a situation where they didn't show what they can really do right then and there, or they just didn't know what to do with them, so they let them go. They go to another team, and then they get to that team, and then all of a sudden, they become a big star. Now, but that happens more often than not when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. I understand that happens with other teams and not just us, but, it just seems like more often than not, Dallas Cowboys already has an issue with, players not, getting rid of players before they get a chance to prove themselves. Now, we got to do a better job of that, first of all. Talent acquisition, that's what it is. Once you get that talent, you got to know what to do with it. Now, perfect example of that is, and I'm going to mention, since I'm talking about the tight end position, Rico Gathers. Rico Gathers was our last pick in the draft 2 seasons ago. And he honestly never got a chance to show what he can do. Another thing is, the boy ain't played football since middle school. You can't go from the pee-wees to the pros. So it's funny when Jason Garrett was making comments about his IQ and the things of this nature. I don't know if he was talking about his football IQ or was just saying he was just dumb mentally. Now, I don't know what that was. But again, you, as a coaching staff, brought him in here as a project, correct? Yes. And with that being said, why are you not using him as the project that you want? Why are you not maximizing the opportunities that he can possess? Now, again, he already stated that, he was okay, week 6, week 7? but they kept him on IR. They didn't let him play last year. We saw what he can do in the preseason before that when he scored 2 touchdowns, and those passes were thrown by Cooper Rush. Now, we know that he can catch the ball. We know that he can be that threat because he's tall. He can run. He can box people out naturally because he played basketball for Baylor. But one of the knacks that they have is that he doesn't know how to block yet. He doesn't know how to do the mechanics that most tight ends do. Understandable. But again, that's within time. He has to learn that. And that's why he is a project. Because being on this team as that project, you have to make sure that your project is up to snuff, up to speed, whatever term that you want to use. And you have to make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to do every day to get better. You have to have the other players around him, veteran-wise, that is, to make sure that he's better. Now, if you're going to give up on him, you shouldn't have wasted that pick. You shouldn't have wasted your time. Now, I feel like this is his time. Now, what he can control right now is this particular training camp coming up. He has to make sure that he gets on his high horse and he makes sure that he don't fall off of it. He better make sure that he wows these coaches. Not just catching the ball, but, learn how to block a little more. As a tight end, you don't have to be great blocking like an offensive lineman. Kind of get in the way. Jason Witten wasn't the greatest as blocking, but he learned how to do it better. He learned ways of using leverage and getting his body into a certain position where the defensive lineman or the linebacker or even the DB that's trying to get to his running back or wide receiver to get in the way. Sometimes you just standing in the right spot makes the difference. When the defensive players are biting down and they don't see you coming, you can pretty much blindside them. Not like hit them blindside, but when they step towards you, they literally got that tight end in their face, and then they can't do anything. They're immobilized for whatever amount of seconds, and by that time, your playmaker is already past the defense and already made a play for a first down. So it's just all about ways of doing things. Like I said, when it comes to that, you don't have to be the greatest at it, but if you have great technique, that will carry you on. And that's a lot of things that I need for people to understand that, it's so many different ways to do certain things, especially when it comes to playing football. If you play football, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Me personally, I'm just going to say, just real quick, when I played linebacker, when I played high school and 1 year semi-pro, I literally I was more instinctive than I was athletic. Now, granted, I could run at the time. I can do all that. But I wasn't winning no marathons. But sideline to sideline, I'm going to get you. And I was a wrap-up tackler. Ask DMV Dallas Cowboys. He'll tell you whether I could tackle or not. Because he felt it. But anyway, when I played, I wrapped up. And a lot of these players now don't wrap up. But, I'm not going to get in there because I'm talking about offense. But back to what I was saying with the tight ends. Rico Gathers has to learn his technique. And once he learns that with the blocking, he'll be good. He also has an uphill battle to make this team. Because right now, if you look at it as a lock, I want to say, you got Dalton Schultz, which is our 4th round draft pick. You got Blake Jarwin. And then you have Jeff Swain. Now, if you want to say, and I know it's a little early right now, but if I wanted to predict the depth chart right now for the tight ends, I would say in order right now, just using common knowledge of what the team might do, you would say Jeff Swain because he's been here the longest out of all the tight ends so far. He knows the playbook the most. Then it would be Jarwin. Then it would be Schultz. Now, all that can change in training camp because you look at Jarwin he kind of can do it all. That's the reason why when I think the Eagles was trying to get him when we had him on the practice squad, they moved him to the 53-man. So when that happened, the team was like, all right, well, we know we want to keep him. So we put him on a 53-man roster. And at first I didn't realize why they do that because I didn't really pay attention to Jarwin back then. I didn't know his skill set, but apparently he's a really good tight end. He is I want to say he's the most balanced out of all the tight ends that's on this roster right now. He can catch equally as he can block. Now, I think that maybe Swain might be a better Schultz actually might be a better catcher than him, but as far as all around, Jarwin is better at that. So Jarwin has a chance to get that number 1 spot, but as of right now, if I had to say who would be number 1 as our tight end to replace Jason Witten starting off the season, it would be Swain, Jarwin, and then Schultz. Now, another thing with Schultz is going to be good once he learns the playbook and once he learns how to be a professional. Because again, I've said this numerous times. It is a whole different animal from playing at the collegiate level than it is to the pros. Because guys are faster, guys are stronger, and guys, hell, they've been in the league longer than you, so they know how to outsmart people. And again, that's why you have to be not only a workout warrior, but you have to be a study warrior. A person that's in the film room constantly just learning, and every time you're looking at film on the team that you're about to play next, because that is important. Because again, a lot of players don't do that. They just dick around and play around, and they're not taking care of what they need to take care of. As far as, just basically doing what they need to do to study. Now, a lot of people are not studiers, but when it comes to your craft, if you want to be good at your craft, you have to be great at your craft. Now, when you look at how they are on the college level, you can be the biggest guy on the field, and you probably will maybe play somebody every once in a blue moon that matches your skill set. Well, once you get to the NFL, it's different. You have guys that are on your level and much better. So basically, the level that you thought you were at, you have to go 10 steps beyond that. So it's basically a cage match, for real. I mean, the battle of the bronze, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you are not necessarily out-muscling, but outsmarting the person that's in front of you. And again, you look at people like Sean Lee that are study warriors and workout warriors. You see how knowledgeable he is at the linebacker position. I don't know any other linebacker that is more instinctive than he was. I was a very good instinctive guy, but Sean Lee is not like no other. So yeah, Rico has an uphill battle. I think that if we're only going to go with 3 tight ends, it's going to be Jarwin, Swain, and Schultz. Now, I really feel sorry for this coaching staff because it's going to be really hard for them to literally figure out what this 53-man roster is going to be, because looking at the talent that we have right now going into this offseason, it's going to be difficult. And I'm glad I'm not one that's making these decisions. Now, I'm going to do videos close to that time when just making guesses on what their final 53 is going to be, but it's going to be hard for me, so I really know it's going to be hard for them. Now, we do have another tight end on the team. You guys probably don't even know who it is, David Wells. Long shot to make the team. I mean, at best, he would probably be on the practice squad. That is, if he even shows anything at training camp. They could very well, if Rico Gathers shows something, they can still put him on a practice squad, but then you're at risk of another team poaching him and bringing him to their squad. So, with saying that, I mean, at this point, the way Jason Garrett talking, I'm not saying he don't like Rico, but I feel like if he doesn't perform this offseason, I don't think that he has a problem letting Rico go. Now, I know a lot of you fans are loving Rico Gathers. I like him too. I do. I wish him well, and I wish that he gets the chance and the opportunity to show this team that he belongs. And even if he doesn't hone those blocking skills right away, if they do choose him for the 53-man roster, if we learn how to use a 2 tight end set, you can potentially have either Jarwin or Swain as the blocking tight end, and you can use him as the receiver tight end and have him run out into the flat and catch balls, because Rico can do that. Or you can make him run the post and go straight for the touchdown. I mean, there's so many possibilities right now. So many possibilities right now that we can do on this team right now, this offseason, and with this team that we have right now, with these talented players that we have, to move them around, because a lot of them have flexibility as far as position-wise. So why not move them around? Stop being predictable. If you stop being predictable, maybe we win a damn Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Or at least get to an NFC Championship game. That's, to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily harping over the Super Bowl right. I am. But what I'm saying is, if we can get to a championship game, I'll be happy as hell. Because the simple fact that it's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. And you got to be realistic. Now, you can't be a fan that's such a homer and says that, oh, I want this team to, we're going to win the Super Bowl every year, and start getting the damn thing tatted on your arm before you even win. No, you can't do that. And one quick thing before I end. Since I'm talking about the team. So, I hear a lot of people talking about bandwagon. And what the hell is a bandwagon? A bandwagon fan is a fan that follows a team when they're up, when they're winning, when they're demolishing other teams. So, when I hear people say a bandwagon of the Cowboys, I'm like, really? What the hell have we won? What have we won? We're not world beaters right now. We are America's team, and we always will be, but we ain't win no Super Bowl. We barely even getting into the playoffs right now. So then and only then, when we start winning on a consistent basis, then you can say that somebody's a bandwagon fan. Now, you can say, if we're talking about the NBA, you can say there's a lot of Golden State Warrior bandwagon fans, which is legit because they're winning. The Washington Capitals. That's the team here where I live, and they won the Stanley Cup. And it's probably a lot of bandwagon fans of them too. But to say that you're a bandwagon of the Cowboys, no, that doesn't make sense, because we ain't won shit. And if you're riding for the Cowboys right now, that means you're a true fan. Because don't get me wrong, we don't suck. We're not at our lows, but we're not where we should be with the talent that we have. And that's the shame part about it. But if you're riding with it right now, that win, lose, or draw t-shirts that Cowboy fans wear, yeah, we coined that. That was our thing. Other people took that. But it's so hard to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. That's what it is. So there's no bandwagon right now. Me living in Maryland, I have been a Cowboy fan my whole life. I'll be honest with you. Those of you that are my subscribers right now, that don't live in DC, Maryland, or Virginia, must know that there are a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans in the DMV. I don't know how many times. I would think I'm in Texas sometimes, because like yesterday I was out. I see everybody with hats, jerseys, t-shirts. I see it all the time. I see stars on their cars. You would think that we're in Texas right now, living here. It's a lot of Cowboy fans here. And you know, that pisses Redskin fans off, because they're like, how you a Dallas Cowboy fan? You live in Maryland. I live here, but I'm not necessarily from here. I'm from Indiana originally. But even then, I wasn't a Colts fan, because when I was a kid, the Colts weren't in existence yet. They didn't come until after I was a little, after I think I was like 3 or 4 or something but I was never a Colts fan. My family most of my family were Bear fans. my uncle was a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I followed my uncle, and ever since then, that's the team that I followed, and I've been diehard ever since. And win, lose, or draw, I'm here, and I ain't gonna be no Redskins fan. I tell y'all a funny story too, real quick. This is how much I don't like the Redskins. I was in a marching band in college. Those of you that know or don't know, when I graduated, a lot of the guys and girls that I was in a marching band with at college, a lot of them that actually are from here or live here, they ended up playing for the Redskins marching band. I had an opportunity to audition and play and have a little fun, make a little money, but I didn't because I just couldn't see myself. I mean, the jackets, they're sweet looking or whatever, but it's Redskins. I can't see myself wearing no Redskins marching band jacket with a Cowboys lanyard. That don't seem right. Like, my skin would melt. It would just burn. It would just be like, that's my chest. No, like, I'm not wearing no damn Redskins marching band jacket. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Like, soon as that burgundy and gold hit me, it's like, it's like I'm melting like the Wicked Witch. No, not doing it. Not doing it. But again, sorry for my rant, y'all. Y'all already know how E2 do. But let me know what y'all think about the tight end position. I know a lot of you guys want Rico. I'm really happy because Swaim has done a good job. Blake Jarwin looks like he's going to be something this year. And I haven't seen much of Schultz yet, but I know that coming from Stanford with that college-ready offense that they have, with that pro-ready offense that they run over there in Stanford, I think that he's going to be good once he learns this playbook and once he gets into the flow of being a pro, because, again, it takes time. So I feel like Schultz is going to do a good job. So with that being said, y'all, that is my time for today. I enjoyed talking to y'all. Like, share, comment on my page. I appreciate all my subscribers all day, every day. I love y'all. It's E2 Blue, always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day.